misunderstand is words are hollow. Words mean. How many people have got involved with drugs, alcohol, sexual relationships that have just...
Was it the original prayer that I was praying for?
God's not up there going, no, I said no. Let's talk about it.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
That was terrible.
What?
That was terrible.
Did you hear my stomach in the middle of that?
I did. I hope they did.
I hope y'all didn't either.
How can
That's not...
I was,
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
There we go. That's the kind of energy we need to bring. So she's not been feeling the greatest again, but
It's a moment.
asthma.
Go.
Jump in the lake.
It has been Friday was a year of Mondays. That's how it
Yeah,
was.
that makes sense.
Yep.
That's tough. A year of Monday.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
And not the kind of Mondays that you like.
That's really kind of been what this year has been for me. So
Sort of.
anyway,
But yeah.
life goes on. You pull up your big girl panties and deal with
We're
it.
not talking about panties on this show.
I don't wear panties.
I'm just saying. We're not talking about it. We're
Well, we
not.
all know that, Zach.
Oh Lord, there's always one.
Well, good morning.
Take two. Okay. Well, we wanted the day to be a little lighter. Well, here you are.
Believe me,
Oh man.
our conversations usually with the group of my friends that I hang around with a lot is usually.
No, let's not.
It's
We're about to go. We're about to go
It's not
dark.
like that.
We're about to go
It's
dark.
not dark. It's just.
It's crappy. Oh goodness gracious.
Anyway.
Take three.
Oh, man, here we go. This is just going to be a highlight funny reel. And people are going to look at it and go, you're like, we're in the same place. It's because it all happened at one time.
This is our life. This
This
what
is
we do.
probably a lot of us. This is
If you hang around us.
Hey, if you
this
can't
is
laugh
actually
at
all of
it, you know, I
It's hot.
had a coach ask me the other day, said, Coach Foster, what gets you in a bad mood? I said, absolutely nothing.
I don't even have one.
Oh, you forgot a hair tie. Oh my goodness, your hair's down. Your hair's
I'm
down. I didn't bring one tonight either. A beard and a hair tie.
You almost could.
I almost can.
You almost could.
Do the rubber band thing like Lou Albano from years ago. Oh, I saw one I was watching today where where is it? Oh, I can't remember. But Zach's got one.
It's a little rubber band.
It's a that
You
might
better
put it
not.
here.
Oh,
Let's
I'm
see
not
up.
gonna be
Oh,
able
nobody
to
can
see
see.
nothing.
This is.
Hang on.
Did you catch that?
No.
No.
I was gonna say if
It
you
was
caught
close.
if you caught that, we're in the Matrix, boys and girls.
It was close.
I didn't see it fly by. Good Lord. Oh my.
You may have to roll that one back in slow mo and see how far I was. Wow.
Like the sloth from YouTube.
Two.
What is that? It's cold in my hair, but it's okay.
I mentioned that. Oh, it's purple.
Oh, it is.
It's pretty.
Product of Peru. It came off of some type of fruit, something. Well,
This
use
could
it.
be. Anyway, we were going to. We were talking about. We did, early on, like the first episode or two, we talked a little bit about us.
Yeah.
And we thought we might come around again and kind of be where we are, because you want to know why we are sitting at the 1 year anniversary of Let's Talk About It podcast.
Yes.
Now, there's been some weeks that we've had to miss due to various things, but as far as the time frame, so we're going to have hopefully an episode next week celebrating that 1 year, and we're hoping to have a bunch of our folks. We may do a live. Well, it's obviously live when we're doing it. And talk about doing it and have a bunch of people in and just having a good time celebrating that 1 year. So we were talking about tonight and just kind of maybe a little bit about us, because maybe you've come on and haven't gone back that far or whatever, and like to know who in the world is Nelson and
And you
Rachel
don't hang around
Foster.
us on a daily basis.
And you know what everybody
Or
else is
weekly
saying?
basis.
We have absolutely no idea.
So maybe some more intimate, more like
Well, I don't know
what
about
we.
intimate. We didn't talk about panties. How more intimate can you get? I mean, we've already in the first 5 minutes of this broadcast talked about underpants and bathroom breaks. I don't know how more intimate you can get. I think we've had enough intimacy. I think we need to separate from that and get a little bit more vague. Take 4. Okay,
More
lead us
like what we enjoy hobby-wise, what we do on a daily basis other than podcast and church.
I know this looks terrible. I forgot my straw. So now I gotta look like an idiot, but I'm thirsty. It's hot.
Okay.
Move on. Move on. I know where you sleep.
Anyway, so what is the thing that you like to do the most?
Outside of church.
Outside of
We're talking about
church and outside of podcast.
Outside of church, outside the podcast. What I do at the school?
Basketball this time. It's not basketball season.
It's not basketball season, but it's Hurricanes.
He's repping for basketball, so.
Well, I'm repping because it was white. I like it. But no, I couldn't put my hands right on the football one because last night was opening day,
It was.
2026 season. We were moved to 1A football this year, but we still our region play has not been strong the last several years. Matter of fact, we gave up, I want to say 14 points in all 5 games of region play last year.
Oh,
Most of it. We went three games in a row. It was 50 plus to nothing.
Terrible.
So we played a 4A school last night, Border Bowl with Colleton County. 33 to nothing Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been more. We started off slow and little I think nervy. We first drive drove down the field, fumbled at the 6. Next drive drove down the field, fumbled at the 1. Oh well, some of those things happen. But we got rolling, and the boys did a great job.
I
Yeah,
think the nerves for the first
I think
home
so.
game. And
Yeah, I told all this time. I'm the kicking coach. I told him all this time. I said my kicker is as accurate as the sun. He'll never miss a PAT. Miss his first PAT.
for those of you that do not know what PAT means,
Point after
point of
touchdown. Point after touchdown.
Yeah.
And
Some
he
people
was
watch
just
the ball.
I saw him at halftime. He was so upset about it, but he came back. The rest of the game did fine, but that one kind of got him, and so we talked about it and everything. And but the relationship with the guys, I had one during our first scrimmage, and you have to understand the heat index a couple of days over the last couple of weeks was 120 plus.
It's hot.
Okay, we've been black flagged more this year than I can ever remember. Which there's called a wet bulb, and you take it, and it rates temperature, humidity, all those kind of things. And if it gets to a certain point, you can't practice outside.
And that affects all
And that
sports.
affects all sports. Yeah. Matter of fact, there's some sports that will be black flag. Like we were able to go out one day or two. One day last week where tennis and cross country could not because they are on pavement. And so the asphalt and everything makes it warmer, so they could not go outside. We were able to go outside for about the last hour of our practice stuff, but a lot of our work over the last little while has been in the gymnasium, and that is tough to practice football in a gymnasium.
It stinks. It stinks.
It does, and that leads me back to my point. So I was saying that, and after our first scrimmage, when the starters came out, one of our linemen came up, sat on my lap. And it was like having a wet sponge that you just cleaned the dishes with sit in your lap. I mean, it literally but I'm in a camping chair, and I told him when he sat down, I lifted and braced. I said, this chair's probably only rated 350 pounds. He goes, what you trying to say, Coach? I said, I'm 250, so unless you're 100 pounds or less, we're about to hit the ground. And so the day before our next scrimmage, or no, it's at our next scrimmage before the game started, he walked up. And he's rubbing my leg. And he's got those gloves on, so I'm like, is this a waxing treatment or something? You pulling every hair? No, hang on. He said, I'm just cleaning off my seat for later. Sure enough, when the starters come out, he comes back and plops down on my leg again. Those kind of things. Seeing guys coming off the field Friday night after the game, seeing guys that played years past, both in football and some of the guys from baseball, and those relationships that you build, that's the highlight of my personal, as a Christ follower, personal discipleship or whatever. That's me. I don't do that. Now some call me pastor. Some of the coaches don't know what to call me. I've got one that'll call me Coach, Rev, Pastor. I think sometimes we're not exactly sure what to call you. Most of the kids call me Coach. Some of them will call me Pastor, but I don't do that as Pastor Foster. I am, of course, Pastor Foster, but I do that as Nelson Foster. And it's
Show personal ministry outside the church.
yeah, and I mean we've moved into a new school, and so one of our other coaches and I have been doing a lot of extra. I went into coach's office the other day, and I said, Still Junior Moving Services, Plumbing, Electrical, Tanning Salon, Video Rental, and Tax Preparation Services at your service, sir. And he just laughed. And so we've been putting, I've told Coach a couple times, I said, get the web ball about it. If we're black flagged for practice, then how in the world can we be working, moving stuff is what I'm trying to figure out. But it's that's something, and I think
your
it's,
outfits, I don't know how
oh
many
my
times.
goodness.
'Cause he come home soaked, his hat soaked.
yeah, I posted a picture the other day. I had one small spot, and that wasn't really the hard job. We weren't out there but about 30 minutes. We were painting the logo on the middle of the field for the game, and so we met at, I think it was 11, and he said, let's, work between 11 and 12:30. We got started maybe around 11:15. I think we were done about 11:30, quarter to 12. It didn't take us that long at all. First time I had helped with that, I said we paint lines. It was the first time I had helped with the logo. And but I had one spot on the top of my hat that was
And you know that
a
means
regular
that
color.
because you
That's
because
what
you won.
he said.
Because
We're painting, and he says, you know what this means, Coach Foster? I said, what's that? He said, if we win big, you got to help do this every home game. But I get 3 weeks off if that's the case, because our next 3 games are on the road. So I told the spotter and the stat guy, and I do know names, but I purposely don't necessarily call names because I don't have permission. But we were talking, and I said, we have one game, and then we're gone for 3 weeks. I said, I'm going to have to remember how to do all this
And
stuff
he announces football.
That's a lot of fun. I announce football.
Basketball,
Basketball,
and
baseball. If we get a wrestling program going, which they're trying to get off the ground this year, they already talked to me about announcing wrestling, and I've never announced wrestling before. I've done basketball, baseball, and football before. I've never announced wrestling. How you do that? I don't think there's a ton of announcements. Well, I guess if it's singles or whatever, you'd announce contestants and weights and all that kind of stuff. But I absolutely love that. Matter of fact, I started in baseball because I've been working with the football program for about 7 years, just about ever since I got here. And I've told some of that story about getting connected to Pastor Howard Black now. And I'll say his name because if he gets upset, it's okay. It promotes his church. They just planted a church not too long ago, C4 here in Varnville, and huh?
Yeah, they're on that.
Yeah, they're on that side. I was checking to make sure I remembered it because it was right before. But in Varnville, and they planted this year. Well, actually, they planted I think last year, but they got into their building this year. And so he got me in. He's over the FCA in our area. He got me introduced to the football program, and it just morphed from there, and into what it is today. But I started in baseball, and our head football coach and athletic director came to a game one night, and was talking about the announcing, and he told me then at the beginning of the game, he said, "You're on the sideline and you're videoing in football." I said, "Okay, well, I'll do whatever you want me to do, Coach. That's fine." By the end of that game, I think he said by the end of that game or the next game, I walked by his office and he said, "Coach Foster." I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Do you have any interest in announcing football?" I said, "Coach, I'll do whatever you feel is best, whatever you want. It's fine with me." Been announcing football ever since. And then got into basketball. Been asked to do softball, but unfortunately,
You did softball.
I did softball, yeah, because they were in the playoffs. They went a little farther than the baseball team did. So we had one game where they were in the playoffs, and they have asked me. They asked me to do some different things, like they asked about senior, but unfortunately, the girls softball and the guys baseball play the same place. So now, and so I can't.
You can't call them yourself?
I can't announce in 2 different places. I guess you could hang one speaker up on top and go the other way and announce across no.
Stand on top of the field house and say, "Hey."
So I can watch right for. But those are the things that get to do, and I get to pick up the food for the football team that we feed them every Friday. I get to pick that up. We serve that, but then before I do that, I get about 7 to 10 minutes to what?
Kind of reminds me of the Obed.
Well, yeah, and especially now,
because you're available and coaches will ask you, and then an Obed Edom story.
Everywhere you turn around, when Uzzah got killed, when they put the Ark of God on the cart instead of being carried by the priest, and it said they went through the threshing floor and the ox stumbled and Uzzah reached up. He was just reaching up to keep the ark from falling, and he died. And so they took it to the house of Obed Edom. Well, if you read the rest of that story, Obed Edom is blessed, and he's everywhere. He's in the choir, he's in the band, he's a custodian. So I think we should always be. And people say, well, how do I know what God's called me to do? My first, and I've shared this with you before, my first recommendation is, what do you love? You know, because usually those things that we love like that is something that God has given us for us to be actively involved in that, because the calling of God is awesome. Now, are there times where the calling of God is heavy? Absolutely. Are there times that you can get into a place where there have been times that I've been like, you know what, I'll go tell him you can have this job. You know, and I told him the end of last year, or sometime at last year, I said, you gotta be careful, coach. I said, if I walk out the door, there goes your video guy, your announcer, the other camera guy up top, my drummer in my church, the end zone camera is my daughter, and the one that handles our huddle sideline is another member of my church. I said, Bo, don't pick at me, but no. And he's like, are there times that you are like, I'm not gonna lie. There's been a couple times that Coach Still and I have looked at one another and just been. There's been a few
That
days.
means you need to go on a cruise.
I've been telling you to book the thing. We're waiting because we're trying to.
Yes.
We're doing it around our daughter graduates from college again next year.
She's paid for this
Different vein.
Yeah.
Of things. She had already graduated cosmetology school years ago. She went back for medical transcription and encoding and stuff. So she graduates, I think, in April. So we're trying to piggyback the trip to her graduation, which is in Florida, and just go from there straight to the boat. The only problem is they haven't told us yet when the graduation is. So you can tell me go on a cruise all you want to. I'm like, book the thing, and it's like, well, we have to wait. You ain't waiting on me? Like Dad always say, if you're waiting on me, you're backing up. So you, outside of the church, you do like to cruise.
I do like to cruise. It took forever to get him to go on a cruise, and the church was.
It just didn't make sense.
The church. What part of that didn't make sense? You get in a boat, you go somewhere, you eat all the food, and you come back.
I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me.
But the church gave us a gift of going on a cruise for one of the pastor appreciations, and as soon as we got off the boat, he said, "When are we going on the next one?" I'm like,
we were walking down the ramp. We were walking down the ramp, and I was saying we were going on.
So we've been on two.
On two.
It's been fun.
We try to do it. We think about trying to do it every couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with doing it every year. I don't care.
I mean, by the time you pay for food,
Well,
for a
you
week,
can.
you almost
Yeah,
can go
I
on
mean,
a cruise.
you can go on a cruise for weight. It is the
By the time you go
cheapest.
to the grocery store for a week, you almost got half.
It is the cheapest vacation. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
You found the right deals, and you could go on those and way cheaper than you can just buy anything else.
And,
And I love it. I'll look at her and say, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
We went to the beaches last time, and the water was freezing. I mean, people got it. They all got in it. I went at one point in time, and I'm standing there looking at them, and I put my toe in and said, I ain't getting anywhere near that. And she says, come on, everybody's in. And there's like a line of people along the beach doing the same thing I'm doing, staring at the people in the water. One of them, not far from me, looked like he could lift America on his own shoulders and looked like he might have been a Marine or something like that. He's standing there looking. I said, the Green Beret ain't even going in the water. No. So we rent the clamshell.
Yes. We rent the
Dude,
clamshell.
I go in, I get on my little bed thing. I put one pillow or one towel as a pillow. I cover up with the other one, and he gone. I'm like, stay at the beach all you want to. I've never been sunburnt. I've never been bitten by a shark. None of those things that may ever happen. I've never had it happen. But it's fun. But anyway, this is about you, not me. Go on. You like to cruise?
I like the cruise.
What's your favorite?
What?
After that,
After that, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of nothing the last little while. I like to paint. Zach's over there taking pictures. Squirrel. Anyway, I like to paint. I like to craft. Any kind of craft, really. I like to watch things. Like, I doom scroll a lot.
If you know of how to break somebody from a phone addiction, please send it to me.
I like to shop, but it has to be like, I don't buy anything full price.
That's true.
I'm cheap because I'm.
You're a county employee.
Yeah. So it has to be cheap. If I find something I like and it's super expensive, it's full price, I'll like
Wait till
If
it
it's
goes
meant to be, it'll be there with my size and the price I can afford.
Oh.
And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's gone. Like,
Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's Klarna.
no, not all the time.
I didn't say all the time. I said sometimes.
No, but I like to.
Klarna, greatest gift to mankind.
I bought you something today.
You know, this is strange to me. Guys, help me out with this. How can it be your fault if she buys something for you without telling you or asking you? It just shows up.
talked about it.
Why'd you?
Y'all.
Case in
Yeah.
point. She sent me a picture that said, this watch is cool. I sent back the word that says, yes, it is. She texts back, it should be here Saturday. Anywhere in that conversation did she say, well, it costs this much? And I say, well, that's too much. And anywhere in this conversation does she say, do you want it? I said, no, we never had any of those conversations. It was just, this watch looks cool. And I said, it does. And the next thing I get is it'll be here Saturday. And then it's like, well, I bought you a watch. And I'm like, well, I didn't ask for it.
No, today. What I got you today is much more costly than the watch.
Hold another second, guys. Help me out on this.
How do we get here?
How is it just what
I
I
like
got
shopping.
you today when there's going to be a whole lot more of other people's things being utilized there than me? Wouldn't that be an hour? We got this for us, not I got this for you. Just saying, it's page 4,763 on the women's manual.
Anyway, I normally buy a lot for other people. Sometimes I will buy for me.
She does.
But I usually, if I find something for somebody and I can afford it, I'll buy it for them.
It's true. And then there's times she says, well, I don't have any money. She still buys it for them.
And a lot of times people say, hey, I'm looking for this. I'm like, let me help
Let
you
me
out
help
with
you.
that. I
remember when we were youth directors in the Midlands, and we'd have to plan for youth camp.
Yeah, had no money.
And no.
I mean, zero.
Then somebody says, what's your budget? No.
What can
but,
you buy for zero?
But we would put together events. There would be state events that would be held at the church that we pastored. And they would say, can you tell us what you can give a meal for, or things along those lines? And we would go to work and we would tell them, well, it would cost us this much money for food. And they were like, what? And I mean, the state overseer and his wife and both that we served under would, how can you do that? Hey, we know what to do. We know how to do it. And for youth camp, man, we ate good. Now we had some great cooks that knew what to do with what we were able to get. And matter of fact, she's still cooking for youth camp out there, and some of the best cinnamon rolls you could ever put in your mouth.
A lot of the youth board would have different sections that they would be over,
Yeah.
and so they get me a thing, an itemized list of what they want and how much they found it for, and then I'd go shopping. Yeah, that was.
There was one for the rec budget.
We were always under budget.
There was
We were
one
always in
for the
black.
rec budget he sent, it was like $1,400. Again, reminding you, there is no budget, okay? But so he sent in what all he needed and everything is gonna be $1,400. And I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, we wound up getting everything for like $400, $450.
Yeah, it wasn't here.
He's like, how? Like,
Let me go shopping.
just let Rachel handle it. So usually anything we're doing, they'll be like, well, this is what we can do it for, and I'll be like, let me talk to Rachel.
Sometimes I can
You're
find
good
a
at
good
that.
deal, and sometimes
Most
I
of the
can't.
time.
Sometimes
Most of
You
the
know.
time. But
rewards.
so like to paint, like to art, like to craft, like to shop. You like being a judge?
I do. But that's work. It's not really a hobby or anything. But I like my boss. She's really nice. I like her.
Now, does it work because you get paid?
Oh, sometimes it's work because it's work.
Right. I'm just trying to figure
My
out.
brain.
I'm
there's
trying to.
some
Well, you said
days-
it's. I didn't, because I was thinking about what I shared and
Cause that's kind of
I
your
get-
job too.
oh, well,
The sports.
I get paid for
That's
some
right.
of it.
You do. Not all of it.
Mm-mm.
No. But
I get paid in
do.
fun. I get paid in fun.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There are some things
You
you
get
do
paid in
that you just
fellowship.
you just love to do. And I highly respect the people that I work with, and we've got several new coaches this year And some of us, and you get closer quicker to some because you're around them more, or your interests are similar. And but a few of the new coaches, one of our new coaches, he came in to practice. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, and he had got a haircut and shaved his beard off.
Whoa.
I mean, huge difference. And he walked into the equipment room, and I looked up, and of course I knew who he was. I looked up and said, "Sir, do you have permission to be on these grounds?" And he just laughed. And told us how him and his son always do that at the beginning of the school year. They go get haircuts and all that kind of stuff like that. So this was, and so you get to know. Got one of the other coaches that we've gotten real close because of FCA, because of Christ, and that coach too. Both of them were really respected and have been a part of the FCA. And so anytime you have Christ in the middle, he was one of the ones that asked me, Coach Foster, what gets you in a bad mood? And I'm like, when you have Christ, nothing. If I'm not, he said, I just hear you're always whistling around the school, and I do that a lot. It probably annoys some people, but I've had people say, man, you don't hear people whistle that more, or you can whistle really well. I
can't whistle.
It's the joy of the Lord, and they act, and it's infectious.
It is.
And that's what I'm about. And one of the things that I love about our ministry, about the church, you can come to the church, and you can come to a Friday night football game, and you can bump into Pastor Nelson and Rachel Foster. We're exactly the same in the church as we are at the football field. And I talked to the guys Friday in our time that you don't have to be a Christ follower. Jesus Christ died on that cross to give us a choice. God could have made everybody serve him. He could have done that. He didn't. He wants to be loved. He wants to be served. He wants to have a relationship. We get to choose. And my only thing was, and my point to the guys was, if you say that you're choosing to be a Christ follower, one of our biggest statements, it's on the weight room. It's something that we put in front of the guys. The standard is the standard. And I explained to them that, our head coach, athletic director, sets the standard for the football program. All of the coaches strive to drive the young men to that standard, and we hold everybody accountable to that standard. And then I explained, because they hear coaches fussing about the wet ball, and coach every now and again looked and said, "You just don't want to go outside." And I said, it's the rules. As a matter of fact, it's the law. Okay, so I told Friday, I said, we can't. I told the boys, you can see that you're going to struggle with the standard, not just here, but the coaches struggle with the standard because they want to be out on the field, they want to be practicing, they want to be preparing and all that kind of stuff, but we're stuck in the gym because of a standard that the state has set. So we're operating, and grown men are wanting to figure out a way to get around that standard. I said, the standard is a standard. And I ended it with God has a standard. You don't have to be a Christ follower. You don't have to profess to be a Christ follower. You can do your own thing, but if you say you're a Christ follower, then you have to live by standards. And if you don't, then you're in a bad way.
We kind of have the same concept type of thing at work. We don't have to like the law, we have to abide by it though. Because when you work in the law office,
Yeah.
you kind of have to do what the law says, whether you like it or not.
Some do.
Or feel like, the law is not fair in this instance. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not fair. Yeah. Sometimes it's just not.
And sometimes with law, it's a law is set. And because you can't manipulate it, it is where you get into situations and circumstances where it seems to be, that's highly unfair.
It is.
And it's just because you see this system now and how long and how slow the process is. Imagine what it would be like if every single infraction, there was movable room where they were having to try to set this person's life with the standard, this person's life compared to the standard, this person's life compared to the standard. And that's why it's so important that we make good decisions. In some of the testimonies that are coming up, we had very a very positive thing happened this week in the lives of one of our young men, but it was still a difficult thing. We'll let their families share that as they see fit, but it could have been much, much worse. But it was one of those situations where, you know, it's okay, painful, but okay. Testimony of God's keeping power and God's grace, but yet a very, very difficult thing. It's like a testimony that you thank God for, but you didn't really make you run the aisle.
Right.
You know, every decision that we make, sometimes just split-second decisions can drive so many things, and y'all do that. You know, deal with people on a daily basis, have to make those kind of decisions.
And those are hard. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's times that we do see the families, and some, you know, the siblings haven't been in the family's life for 20, 30 years, and now they're having to be put on some, you know, some deeds and share
Yeah, it's
the property.
it's just like the
It's
prodigal son's
difficult.
brother.
Yeah.
It's just like the prodigal son's brother. You know, he wasn't happy that his brother came home. He was mad his brother was getting a party.
Yeah, and
You know.
and you know it's, and you see these people come in, and your heart breaks for them because they're grieving. For one, they just lost their loved one, or recently lost their
Yeah.
loved one, and grief has no time,
Or having to deal with something
or
that happened
mental
years
health.
and years and
Right.
years ago when they lost someone and nothing was done about
Nothing
it.
was done.
And they now they got to go back and revisit that moment.
Yeah, and after
in
10
order
years
to
in
take care
South
of it.
Carolina, we can't touch it. It has to go through an attorney first, and so that's even more money
Yeah.
that's kind of having to come out of their pocket that they really didn't expect. And there's days that I get home and I don't even want to make a decision of what I want to eat, because I've helped people help try to make some decisions for, you know, for some things.
That has nothing to do with your job.
I
You've been
don't
doing that
like
ever since I
making-
started dating you when you were 14 years old?
I don't like making decisions, but I have to do that a lot more.
Truth.
And
Well, you have to do that at work for sure.
I do have to do that at work, and I try my best because Judge is elected official. She's my boss. We have a clerk, and we're all Christians. Our clerk is a pastor of her own church. She works part-time, and she has been a godsend to us. We got her last year because I was working the front office. I was deputy at that point in time. It was just two of us in the office. And right now we have about 1,500 cases that's still open from the previous administration had lots. And then from 2023, when our judge was the first elected, she came into office January 23, to now, we've probably had maybe 700 to 800 cases, just probate, just the estates. We also do guardianship, conservatorship, mental health, and marriages. So
Drug court?
drug court.
That got
possessions,
y'all
drug court.
this last year, wasn't it?
This
That got
last
added
year
to
she
your
was
agenda?
appointed to drug court, so she does treatment court, and we do have one veteran in there, so it's kind of more of a treatment court type of
Right,
situation. But I love my job, and my goal, because she is the main judge, I try to keep all the hearings to her. And so if she has a hearing coming up, she can't talk to everybody that's involved in that hearing. So that falls on me. And I try to get all the documents, all the paperwork done, so when that hearing time comes, she's prepared. She already knows what's in the file because I have done that. I try my best to do everything on the daily work, so when she gets a case that she has to look at, things are already done. I've already informed her of everything that we've worked on, what, you know, each person is kind of involved with. There's some estates that I don't think she's even had to even look at, because either they've been a small estate or an estate that's been, you know, open,
Right.
transfer property, close it, done, that she hasn't had to work through. So I try my best, Judge Parker, I try my best to help you out and take some of that load off of her, because her job, she has to deal with all the administration, she has to deal with the state, she has to deal with, you know,
County council and then.
she has to do all the budgets, she has to do all the money, she has to do all that kind of stuff. And so if I could take the daily mundane for some things away. But when we got the clerk, when we got Lucretia, she came in and started the scanning, the answering the phone calls that I would do and try to do my job on top of, and it was overwhelming. And since we've got the clerk, we've actually made some money in our courthouse for probate because we were able to do a lot more closing of some of the estates because she's taken a heavy load. You know, if you have a court document, you gotta scan it. It all has to be documented. So she took a load off of us, and so I love my job.
A lot of work at times.
But it can be kind of stressful.
Yeah. And then you do on your side hustle as a pastor's wife.
Yeah. And I don't get paid for it, but that's okay too.
You got a cruise.
I did.
Yeah, 'cause that was for they came to me about that Pastor Jason. I said, well,
That's sweet.
we've never really done anything for Rachel. You know, this is something that she's always wanted to check off her bucket list. And they
That's
came through big time for
That's
that. And it was for both of us and love it. But
And
it
we
was,
were able
it
to
was,
go with another church group on that
Yeah.
particular cruise
Yeah.
too. So
it's a lot of fun.
hopefully this next cruise that I'm hoping to book is going to be a family-oriented cruise.
There you go.
I'm trying to get
We're trying
my
to
parents,
get my dad to
your
go.
dad.
I think Dad's game.
Yeah.
So
My parents want to go, so
pretty
we
cool.
just need to get them from Iowa to here. So we'll see.
No, we don't. They do. they have to get themselves from Iowa to here.
And my sister's in Texas, so if she ever watches this, which I know she has in the past, so cruise.
It's
April. Okay.
Be on the lookout next week's podcast year celebration for Let's Talk About It. It's going to be a lot of fun. We did good. I know we've missed some occasions. We've had some sickness. We've had some
I
travels
had a
and
lot of sickness.
different things like that.
I'm sorry.
But you know,
I'm sicky.
yeah, we'll get through it.
Yeah.
We're going to have a word of prayer. And if you don't have a church family and you don't have a church home, we got a good one. Heaven Oak Church of God, Varnville, South Carolina, 6638 Yemassee Highway, 29944. And if you don't live anywhere in this area, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, all those places. Go out, check us out. The Lord's been doing some great things, and I can't wait for tomorrow.
Amen.
It's going to be another great day. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we give you praise and glory for your abundant mercies, grace, and blessings that you bestow upon us fresh and new each and every day. God, I pray for everyone that listens or watches this podcast. May something be said that just be uplifting. God, may they get a laugh. May they get encouragement. Lord, whatever they need in the moment, would you just meet their need? God, let us have a great rest of our weekend, great day tomorrow as churches gather to celebrate our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. May you open up the windows of heaven and pour yourself out upon us. And we'll be sure to give you the glory, the honor, and praise. And it's in Jesus' name we ask all these things. Amen.
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 Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Zach. Bailing us
He puts it
out.
all together.
He does it.
Make
Without
us
him,
look-
nothing happens. I don't know
Makes
if
us
it makes us
look
look.
good.
I don't know if it makes us look any better, but he makes it. He posts it. Love you and appreciate you.
Love ya.
Blessings.
Bye.